What should I do?
Ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lenz and you're watching Get Germanized, 10 tricks that will help you learn any language. I know usually I teach German on this channel, but these tricks can be applied to any language you want to learn. So let's get started. Lasst uns anfangen. Number 1 might be obvious to some people, might not be. Set yourself a goal. Don't just learn the language because someone told you you have to or because you think you have to. Picture yourself when you reach that goal in your new life. What is it like? What benefits did you get from having learned that language, from having put in the work? You need a goal, otherwise there's no success. Like with so many other things in life. You want that new job? Do you want a romantic partner from that country? Do you want friends in that country? Do you just want to travel there? Or maybe even start a new life in that country? Well, the language is definitely going to help you with that. And you have to visualize it. You have to think about it. Burn it into your mind. That is where you want to be. And this is where you're going to learn that language. Trick number 2, get over yourself. Sounds weird, but it's really simple. Don't let your own fears, your own shortcomings hinder you when it comes to learning that new language. Speak it whenever you can. Practice when you get the chance. Don't think, I'm gonna embarrass myself, it's gonna be no good. With that mindset, of course it won't be. Because speaking the language and actually using it is key. I cannot say it often enough. And if you don't use that accumulated knowledge in your mind, what good is it? I mean, it's knowledge in your mind, it's always nice to have, but unless you apply the language you've learned to real life, to actually speaking and using it in daily life, you won't reap all the benefits it can give you. Trick number 3, team up. Get a language buddy, a language partner, maybe even a romantic partner if you're so inclined, and let them help you learn the language and motivate them in return. Because like with many activities in life, things are more fun if you do them together with others that are also interested in those things. Team up any way you can. May it be with pen pals, online pen pals, study group friends, many other possibilities available on the internet, like apps. It's so easy these days to connect, so do it. Trick number 4, immerse yourself as much as possible. I always say this when I'm being asked, like, how can I learn the language best? What is easiest, most efficient? Well, immersion, bombardment of language all that time. You can do it. You can set your iOS, your operating system on your computer or cell phone, mobile, smart, whatever you want to call it, smartphone, to the target language. You can read books in that language. You can watch movies with subtitles if you want, or just movies. You can do so many things to surround yourself with that language. Post-it notes on stuff with vocabulary. Maybe even on your ceiling when you get up, then you, the language is already there, even though I'm not there just yet. Well, there's many possibilities, so do it. Immerse yourself as much as possible. And this leads to trick number 5. Use your time better. Manage it. Because you might think, because this is what I hear all the time from people, excuses I say, I don't have time to learn, it's so time consuming. Well, no, it's not, and you do have time. What do you do while you wash the dishes? What do you do while you fold the laundry? What do you do on your commute to work? You could be listening to the language. Listen to news in the language. Doesn't even need translations or subtitles. We learn subconsciously, so you will adapt the language to a degree even just by listening to it. You will understand from context, maybe you've learned some words before and then, I recognize this word, what could that mean in the context? Your brain is working constantly in these things. So definitely use that time you have, the spare time that you think you don't, to listen to the language, at least. Or set up 10 minutes every day to actively learn the language. Do that at least if you think you don't have an hour, you don't have 30 minutes, you don't have 15 minutes. Choose 5 minutes, if anything, Start somewhere, because the snowball effect is real, like with sports, like with anything in life. Once you've started, it becomes much, much easier. Time management, very important. Trick number 6. This has worked very well for me when I first learned English. Learn about something that you are actually passionate about, that you are interested in. For me, because I'm a big nerd, it was anime. When I first learned English, funnily enough, I watched Japanese animations with English subtitles. That helped me a great deal because I was interested in the storyline. But for you, it might be something different. It could be cooking, engineering, dancing terms. Might be, who knows? Use your passion to your advantage. That's what it's called, passion, I think. Anyway, use it as best you can, because that will keep you motivated. If I personally had to learn about maths in the new language first, I would never learn it. I don't care. I know maths is important for the world, but my brain doesn't care about it. Not that much. So learning a new language with maths, for me personally, that would be hell. I wouldn't do it, no. So for me, it would be maybe video games, Dungeons and Dragons, role-playing, cool movies, sci-fi, fantasy, stuff like that. That would get me to learn a new language easier. What is it for you? Let me know in the comments. What are your passions? With what would you start learning a new language? Trick number 7. Something really obvious actually as well, but many people don't think about this. Don't just use any random words when you start a new language or like try to learn random words. Yes, something you're interested in, but also something very common. Because if you learn the most common words and phrases first, guess what? You'll be starting to speak much sooner. Because of course it will make you feel like having a conversation in that language is no big deal, because you can ask for directions, you can ask about what the weather is going to be like or what this means in that language, and where to go next in the town, what cool sites there are, all these kind of things. Learn specific also to, well, your goal. If you want to travel to a town just as a tourist, learn touristic phrases. And if you want to go to live there, maybe you think about different things like job terms, how to rent an apartment in that language, all these kind of things that are useful, specific to your situation. Adapt and learn. Trick number 8, also super important, helped me a bunch. Very easy to do. You don't need anything, maybe the internet or a pocket dictionary, but that's it. Look up words you don't know. If you hear a sentence that you're very familiar with, for example, then you hear this one word dropped in, like, huh, what? What is that? You could, of course, ask the person. Don't be afraid to ask if you don't know a word. What does that mean? What did you just say? Hey, can you teach me? Thank you. Or if you're too shy to do that, look it up on your phone. There's online dictionaries. There's even some where you can just use it to let them speak into it, maybe without them noticing, who knows? And then, well, you know what it means. You might have to be quick for that variation here, but you know what I mean. Look up the word, because then it has context, and when it has context and meaning to you personally in your memory bank, then you'll learn easier. So do that. Trick number 9 might not be available to everyone, but to some, so I thought I'd mention it anyway. Travel to the place where the language is spoken. That doesn't mean it has to be a different country. Maybe there's little Germany somewhere, or little, obviously, Chinatown. Stuff like that, right? You can go there and actually practice the language. There's many YouTube channels of polyglots who go out all the time and do that, who just baffle native speakers with their language skills. And even as a beginner, you can do that to practice. They will like it because, you know, I like it too when someone tries to speak German to me. I like that they're interested in my culture and language. I like that they're learning it actively by trying. So do it. Last but not least, trick number 10. Don't worry so much about making mistakes. Please stop worrying so much and just have fun. For the love of God, have fun. Try. Because that's what it's all about, what it should be all about when learning a new language. Fun experiences, fun connections you make with people, fun memories you create using that language. It's fun. Don't make it anything else. and stop worrying. Thank you, danke. That's my last tip. It's not super special, but I think it's still very important. And well, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. If you're new to this channel, which might be likely with a general video like this, I teach German on here and about the German language and culture and give you language tips and tricks. So it might be something for you. And by the way, bonus trick. Didn't expect this, huh? Bonus trick number 11. Study the culture of the country your target language is spoken in, because learning about the culture will give you a deeper insight into the language as well. Why do they use these weird slang phrases? Where does it come from? Is there a reasoning behind it? What? It has something to do with food? Why? Okay, I get it now, because otherwise you might just be left confused for the rest of your learning process. And you don't really want that, do you? So study the culture as well, very important. If you enjoyed this video to the degree where you say, wow, this dude is cool, he taught me something, opened my mind, then you might even want to consider becoming a channel member or a patron on patreon.com/getgermanized. Or you can, like I said, become a channel member by clicking on the join button next to the subscription button. If you do that, wow, thank you very much. It's highly appreciated, helps me out a bunch. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.